Realm versus Realm. River is a type of player versus player gameplay in massively multiplayer online role-playing games, MMORPG, where the player base is divided over multiple preset realms that fight each other over game assets. This differs from normal player versus player combat in that realm versus realm usually involves a combat-based game, as opposed to one where sporadic player versus player combat occurs. In this context, realm generally means a geographic territory of political affiliation. This concept is also referred to as group versus group, race versus race, nation versus nation, or faction versus faction depending on the specific implementation in the game under discussion. Contrast with guild versus guild games, or GVG, in an alternate usage from group versus group, such as Shadowbane or Age of Conan, in which players organize themselves into factions of their own creation and design rather than realms which are pre-built by the game developers. Origin. In 2001, Mythic Entertainment introduced a new team-based form of PvP combat with the release of Dark Age of Camelot and called it Realm vs. Realm. In Realm vs. Realm, the rules would be similar to PvP combat, where a single combatant or a group faces one another in PvP. River introduces entire factions fighting each other. River was also made more interesting by bypassing the normal red versus blue type team battles seen in most games at the time. For River, they created a third faction to bring about a large-scale rock-paper-scissors experience. Last, they chose to allow Realm vs. Realm to be played out in an open-world PvP environment known as the River Zone. The River Zone was a free-to-roam map where players had the choice of where to attack, when to attack, and with how many players. Complete battlefield freedom, even the freedom to not take part, allowed for River and DAOC to become one of the most successful MMOs of its time. Other games. Mythic's newest MMORPG, Warhammer Online, is also in River game. It features the conflict between the Realm of Order and the Realm of Destruction as a core gameplay aspect. Many other MMORPGs include River elements without classifying themselves as a River game. Such titles include Anarchy Online, 3 groups of characters that fight in designated PvP areas. EVE Online, factions fight over specific regions. The different player-created alliances fighting for control of regions of low security space also resembles River. Final Fantasy XI. Players of different nations can fight in ballista battles. Guild Wars 2. World vs. World Combat. 3 servers fight for control of an area called the Mists. This resembles Dark Age's system closer than any other to date, including Warhammer Online. Jumpgate Evolution. 3 nations fight for control of certain sectors. Legend of Edda. Players choose between the Olympus and Titan gods and fight for crystals in sacred wars. Lineage. Players organize into blood pledges that fight over control of castles. Pirates of the Burning Sea. The 3 nations and the pirates fight over the control of certain ports. Regnum Online. 3 realms fight against each other in war zone, invading forts and castles. Shattered Galaxy. 3 factions fight over the control of all battlegrounds. Planet Side. 3 factions. The Terran Republic, the Vanu Sovereignty, and the New Conglomerate fight in islands for control over bases that lock and give bonuses to the side that owns them. Planet Side is a first-person shooter FPS-style MMO that creates 3-way battles, with everything from tanks, planes and stealth units. Star Trek Online. The Federation and the Klingon Empire battle over star systems. Silk Road Online 2. The sequel to Silk Road Online will be based on an River system.